This is a terrible free agency class.
Oh my god, this class sucks. But I think because of, ever since the Kevin Durant fiasco, teams are like more inclined and more incentivized to not let their best players reach free agency, and then
Or
just
even the
trade
role
them.
players.
Yeah, anybody, because they don't want to lose them for nothing. So teams are way less inclined to let their guys' contracts go down and walk. If they can't reach an extension, they'll just trade them. So, like, we're reaching the point now, at least we have seen it over the last few years since the KD shit, that the free agent classes are getting worse and worse because nobody wants to let their guys leave for nothing.
No, I agree. And it's not even about leaving the guys for nothing. And it's not even if they want to keep those guys. They're like, we're just going to resign you and trade you at the deadline.
Yeah, because you get something for it. It's better than not getting anything. The Oklahoma City Thunder were a 3-1 blown lead away from the NBA Finals, which they probably would have won, and then they lost their best player for nothing to the team that beat them. Teams are scared of that happening now.
Or another one is the fact that
I guess Kyrie in Boston is another one.
Well, I was going to say the other thing I wanted to bring up was literally there is like a dark like shot in the dark that the Wizards re-signed Kyle Kuzma because all the team that can pay him the most are bad teams, okay? Like not championship teams. The only team that could be close to considering a championship contender is the Kings. And they're not going to give him the money he wants. They're going to give him close to it, but they're not going to give him what he wants. If he really wanted to get paid, his best chance is to get paid by the Wizards and they ask for a trade at the deadline. Is that wild?
What does he want to get paid?
He wants over $20 million a year, but I've heard he's between 13 and 20. He's probably going to get like 15, 17.
That's an absolute steal.
Yeah, that's not a bad.
Aaron, I'm telling you, he's an Atlanta Hawk. I really think he's an Atlanta Hawk. If that's the case, Atlanta would pay him. I think Atlanta would pay him, and I think he'd want to play for Atlanta. I don't know how no team would pay him more than Washington. That shocks me. He's a good player.
No,
I had a good year last year.
The Rockets would pay Kyle Kuzma over 20 a year, I would imagine.
But Kyle Kuzma wants to play for a team that's going to win a championship.
Atlanta's not that team, though.
Yeah, so
I agree.
Yeah, so go to Houston.
So I mean, I think if he had to choose between Atlanta or Houston, he's taking Atlanta because they're closer to winning it than Houston is. No offense to Houston. And it fits, dude, he fits perfect in Atlanta. Next to either Onyeka Okongwu or Clint Capella. Then if you keep DeAndre Hunter or if you have AJ Griffin or I'm literally blanking on the guy they drafted this year. They drafted Kobe. And
just put Kuz at 4 and Hunter at 3.
That's what Sleep just said.
And that's your lineup. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's not a bad lineup.
You got
even if they trade DeAndre Hunter, AJ Griffin.
The thing is, as a Wizards fan, can I tell you this? The problem with Kyle Kuzma, as much as I love Kyle Kuzma, I got to see Kyle Kuzma up close for a year and a half. Like I was one of probably 5 people watching every Wizards game this past year and a half, and Kyle Kuzma, let's say there's a great quote from John Hollinger. In a 13-game span, 4 of those games, he will look like an all-NBA, all-star level player. Like 4 out of those 13 games, you will literally be like, holy fuck, Kyle Kuzma is him. Then there will be a 4 or 5 game stretch where he'll be like above average. And then there'll be like a 3-game stretch where like Kyle Kuzma just disappears and you're just like, and that's like every like 2 weeks, what you go through with Kyle Kuzma. Insane stretch, above average stretch, disappear. Insane stretch, above average stretch, disappear. And it's like, he's awesome and stuff. Like, granted, we've only seen him in playoff basketball with the Lakers. And,
Oh,
yeah.
Crunch time.
Yeah. So, like, granted, like, this is what I saw with, like, with the Wizards was, again, mediocre basketball. And the only other time he was able to do this was on the bad Lakers before LeBron came. So, what is Kyle Kuzma really? Probably the guy we saw in the Lakers when they're winning championship. That 13.
Yeah, but like that guy, the year before like they won the championship or whatever, dude, didn't he had like what did he average, like 18 a game or something, or like
And
19
he
a
averaged
game or
20
something?
a game,
His second
and
year.
he averaged 20 a game this year. But the thing is that he doesn't do it consistently. He's streaky. Kyle Kuzma's problem is he's a streaky player.
I know, but he's
On
never
both
had a
ends,
season. He's never had a season where he averaged less than 13 points a game, and that was that Lakers season where he was a backup behind like their two bigs for most of the year. So like, his worst, at worst, he's gonna get you 13, 14 a game.
I love Kyle Kuzma, but like right here, Aaron Barnes, I would love him on the Atlanta Hawks. I think he'll probably go to the Kings or some dark horse team that pays him.
Why would he go to the Kings?
Because he replaces Harrison Barnes and he's perfect.
And he plays next to Sabonis.
Yeah,
I like him better in Atlanta. I think he's a better fit in Atlanta.
Because
next to Onyeka
with the Kings,
Okongwu,
they can
Capella.
run the De'Aaron Fox, Herter, Keegan Murray, Kyle Kuzma, Sabonis lineup.
Yeah, that front court defense is not good though.
Oh, that's gonna be. But like over here,
the Kings' problem was defense. So signing Kuzma to slide next to a lineup that already sucks on defense and would have even more front court defensive problems. I don't know. Atlanta seems like a better fit.
Kyle
than
Kuzma
Sacramento.
would stun Jalen Johnson's growth, though.
So what?
Okay.
And the Kings, Harrison Barnes will be on the Kings.
Yeah, Aaron, Kings will never do defense. That is right. They would never do defense, even if
Mike Brown's a defensive coach.
Yeah, but their defense was fucking awful last year, and signing Kuzma doesn't exactly help that.
Wow, Kings are prime reporters.
No, Kyle Kuzma would go to the Jazz because it doesn't make sense anymore. Before the John Collins trade, hell yeah, made sense. But now with the John Collins trade, I think the Jazz are set on their front court. They might sign a backup center at this point. But besides that, I don't see them adding any power forwards or any other bigs. They're probably going to add wings and guards. But I agree with Barton that like Jalen Johnson has higher potential.
Ooh, you know the perfect fit.
Does he? We're still waiting on
the perfect fit for Kyle Kuzma.
Kuzma was already better at this time than Jalen Johnson was in year 2. So
yeah,
Jalen Johnson had Nate McMillan who wouldn't play him for a year and a half.
Yeah, I'm still. If you're
and Kuzma got moved to the bench under Frank Vogel.
You're taking Kyle Kuzma over Jalen Johnson.
Can Jalen Johnson ceiling beat Kyle Kuzma? That's the question.
That's a way better ball handler.
That is a great question.
But is his ceiling better than Kyle Kuzma? 20 points a game?
Yes.
20 points a game, though.
I think I think Jalen Johnson is a more athletic, better potential Kyle Anderson.
That's still not better than Kuz, though.
It's nowhere.
I don't know. I think they both have the same value, maybe.
No.
Jalen Johnson averaged
more
11
of a winning
points
player. I guess Kyle Anderson hasn't won shit, but and Kyle Kuzma has a championship ring.
Jalen Johnson is a 28% 3-point shooter for his career.
I know.
He only averaged 11 in college. The perfect fit for Kyle Kuzma is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
How does that? So you make him a small forward then? When we've seen that Kyle Kuzma shouldn't be a small forward.
Well, they might trade Jared Allen.
Well,
I don't get that. Are
they might trade Jared.
I think they just want Evan Mobley full. I think they just want to get more versatility in their lineups and having a bunch of 7-footers. You have to worry about switches. I don't think they should get rid of Jared Allen.
Are we switching the topics right now? Or are we still on the Kyle Kuzma right here?
We're still on Kuzma.
Okay.
I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to trade Jared Allen.
So, let's predict this right here. I want to hear Jackson. Where do you think Kuzma goes? And then I'll hear Luke.
Los Angeles. But I'll go Atlanta.
You go Atlanta?
I think Los Angeles.
I think Atlanta from a basketball standpoint, I think of the teams that we've talked about so far, I think Atlanta probably makes the most sense for Kuzma. From a basketball standpoint. I don't know if that's where he's going to go, but I'm going to say Atlanta just because.
All right. And I'm trying to see if there's a NBA free agency odds right here for Kyle Kuzma. So let's see. Do you guys want to hear what sportingnews.com says for Kyle Kuzma?
Kings are the favorite?
Lakers.
I will tell you in a second if the page wants to fucking load. It's not loading.
Pistons? Why don't the Pistons go for him?
Okay, I'm trying to.
Doesn't fit their timeline.
Dude, this is like
No.
terrible. I just want to.
Neither does Bogdanovich.
Yeah.
I mean, so I just heard that there's a possible Harrison Barnes. You know. All right, we're hearing from Clutch Points that the Mavs and Cavs are favored to sign. Currently, betting favorites are the Dallas Mavericks and Cleveland Cavaliers to sign Kyle Kuzma. I personally think Kings, and I kind of agree, Hawks are a dark horse for Kyle Kuzma. I think the darkest horse is him staying with the Wizards if he truly wants the bag, because this might be the last time Kyle Kuzma can ever get paid.
But I thought he wants to be where he's wanted.
His next contract is going to
Washington.
be his next contract. He's going to be over
Paris
30.
And LA and New York,
I know, but the thing is,
Chicago and Miami.
Luke just said it. His
Next contract, he'll be over 30. He's 28, or he's turning 28.
And
I thought KP and Kuzma wanted to be wanted.
And Wizard, that's
that was
if you want to be
before.
wanted.
That was
If you want to be
before,
wanted,
but-
you stay in Washington.
There's been so many people who've been giving me flack for like my previous reporting on that Kristaps and Kuzma were going to stay. That was under another regime. Okay, it should be apparent that.
Well, yeah, you just said it the whole year, and I
because
disagreed
that
with
was
you the whole
before.
year.
But that's before we knew Tommy Shepard was going to be fired.
Yeah, and that was before the tank.
Yeah, before the tank, they like had made it crystal clear. Like they made it very clear that it seemed like
Tanking for about a decade, though.
No, they haven't been tanking. They've been avoiding tanking for a decade.
Yeah, we're now going to tank.
Average. Now they're actually going to do what they should have done 5 years ago, and tank.
Yeah, but like this whole year, we were given the idea that Tommy
They were going to keep Bradley Beal, and that they were going to run it back with a meh team that missed the play-in.
They didn't change their thoughts until like April, May. You know,
that's why the Bradley Beal trade happened so late.
And even before they hired this guy, they didn't even ask. You know, what I mean, it still seemed like, oh, whoever comes in is probably going to keep this team together. You know, but with that being said, I think Kyle Kuzma, if he wants the bag, he could stay with the Wizards, because the Wizards would be like, we'll give you the bag, and then we're just going to trade you by the deadline. Which would be like, okay, like, you know, there could be, that's like a very small chance, but I think Cavs or Mavs. Who the fuck is Cat Stevens?
Singer.
The Kings are. Hey, what's
Singer,
up, Jared?
bro? Look him
Kings-
up. Look up an old picture of Cat Stevens.
The Mavs make a lot more
His
sense.
hair's longer than yours, but still.
The Mavs are actually a perfect fit.
I agree.
I would love him in Dallas.
Yeah.
The Kings make absolutely zero sense. That would be a huge mistake, I think, unless they planned on signing Dylan Brooks and Brook Lopez and Kyle Kuzma. Like,
I do kind of look like Cat Stevens, but I agree. Okay, Jackson, Cavs, Mavs, Kings. I agree. I think out of those three teams, the Mavs make the most sense. You throw
I'll
power.
Yeah.
Mavs, Cavs, Kings.
I agree in that order. I just get scared with the Cavs that if they don't trade Jared Allen, we're gonna see a lot of Kuzma at the 3. And like, there's no problem with Kuzma playing the 3 in a limited span, but if he's playing the 3 regularly,
He's not Lowry Markkinen, man.
yeah,
He's not Lowry Markkinen.
he's a combo forward.
You don't want him to play at the 3 30 minutes a night. It's not really a recipe for success. Lowry Markkinen could do it. Kuzma, I don't think so.
I think the Mavs is the best fit because he'd play power forward.
Yeah.
I think the Mavs is the best fit. And then I think I go Mavs, Kings, Cavs. I flip-flop the Cavs. I just think I know the Kings would play him at the 4. I know the defense would be terrible for that team, but like
at least they had they were like the 28th ranked defense last year.
They just happen to have one of the best offenses in the history of the league, so kind of helped them out a little bit. I don't know if that's going to – they're due for some offensive regression, though. There's no way they can be that good all year on offense. So I think the Kings got to look for some defensive specialists. I don't think that Kuzma is where the Kings can improve to take that next step to not get beat in the first round. So, I mean, Kuzma's great, but I just think he fits better in like Dallas or Atlanta.
He's more good than great. If he was great,
yeah,
then they'd make it work.
Yeah, it'd make it work. He joins the Kings. Let's say Harrison Barnes leaves and Kuzma goes in the door. I don't really think they get much better. I think they're probably the same team they were last year. which is a playoff team, but that playoff team lost in the first round, and they need defense real bad.
I think Brooke Lopez is perfect.
So, guys, do you guys
for
want
Sacramento?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah,
He'd be perfect.
That's a great fit for the Kings.
But
I don't
he'd
think
have to be a backup.
Yeah, and I don't think he's gonna leave, and he's not gonna go there if he leaves. So
I don't think he thinks he's a backup yet.
no, he doesn't,
He's not.
and he hasn't.
not.
He's earned that right. He's a starter. So
Okay, so right here, guys, would you rather see top free agents